Alright, hello guys and welcome to today's video. So I'm going to be talking about off-season, okay? It's a very hot topic. It is probably the topic that I get asked about the most throughout all of my social medias, and majority of it stems from basically how to deal with putting on weight and your body changing after prep. And this doesn't have to be just people going out of prep. It can be anyone doing like a lifestyle dieting phase. It doesn't have to be strictly competitors, but these, I just wanted to share I guess what has helped me and kind of the approach that I've taken this off season. So I have now been in off season for a little over 10 months, and I will tell you the beginning is absolutely rough. No matter what you do, no matter how you prepare for it, it is always going to be extremely hard. So you need to make sure that you have the right mental state about it, or else it just gets very ugly. So I definitely want to just kind of touch everything that I think you guys need to hear or know, and hopefully it is helpful. I made an Instagram caption about it and a lot of people did seem to find it helpful, so I wanted to make a full in-depth video. I don't want to make this too long, but I do kind of want to just give my thoughts and opinions and my tips. So yeah, hopefully you guys find this video helpful, and I guess let's just get into it. So I figured I would start this video off with an off-season update, going strictly on my experience, where I'm at, and like my current state. So I am 123 pounds right now. I've actually been floating around this for a while, and we've been increasing carbs almost every week now. So currently I'm at 285 carb, 65 fat, and 130 protein. And like I said, I was at probably like 250, 260 for a while. And then the past 2 weeks we bumped 275 and then 285 because my body is either staying the same or dropping weight now with the increases. And honestly, it's actually, I never thought I would say this, and I'm not even eating that much food, but it seems like a freaking lot, and I'm like actually really full. Sometimes have a hard time finishing my food, which in prep you think to yourself that you'll never get to that point, but I'm shocked with how early and how not much food I'm eating to be feeling this way. So anyways, those are my current macros. I'm basically doing no cardio right now. I do F45 like usually once a week, so I kind of consider that cardio because I do go to the cardio based classes, but other than that I'm doing essentially no cardio. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. My body is finally responding. I feel good. Of course, I still, seeing a lot of people lean and shredding for summer and all that, sometimes you do feel a little bit thick, but honestly I do feel comfortable in my body. I feel really good in high-waisted bikinis, so I'll just probably stick to that. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and this is all part of the journey. So that's kind of where I'm at. Again, I'm like 10 months post-show. I actually competed, my last show was August 2018, so yeah, about 10 months. So it's been a wild ride, and I just want to kind of give like where I'm at right now. And I feel like I'm gonna try to add some photos into this video to try to help you guys visualize kind of the whole process of it all. But anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go down the line of, I guess, my tips and just important things that I think you need to know going into off-season, or if you're already in off-season, kind of how to tackle it all and how to have the best outlook on everything. Sorry, I literally just had to feed Juice before I really got into it. I'm just gonna try to make this as clear and organized as possible, but I can't make any promises. So I guess my first and most obvious tip would be, coming out of a show or coming out of a dieting phase, you need to have a plan. You can't just end the dieting phase and just go back to normal eating, no control, no moderation, no watching, no tracking. Like, I know sometimes you can get fed up with tracking, but you have to be able to monitor your intake in reverse dieting. That is going to be key to not going overboard or not putting on weight extremely quickly and then getting very, very upset with yourself and causing this bad cycle. So you need to have a plan, whether you have a coach or not. I know there are probably a lot of videos out there on kind of like how to structure an off season or how to structure a reverse diet. And again, this is going to be totally different for everybody. The amounts and the increments that you increase and kind of like the speed that you increase food at is going to be totally different. There is no set perfect number that you should be following. So it's a very experimental thing, but no matter what, I think that you need to have a plan. I literally, if I'm competing on Saturday, I like to have a plan for Monday, like set in place. If I'm not jumping into another show, I like to be straight back on track, because the longer you take to bounce back into your routine, if you take a full week to go off the rails, it just kind of makes it a lot harder for you to get back into it, and it just causes like a bad relationship, I feel like, with everything. If you just kind of continue on like you were, but increasing food, it's just a beautiful process. If you just kind of treat it the same as you did prep, like just go back to tracking. It's gonna be more food, so it's not gonna be, you know, as bad, but you do need to be basically just as serious as you were in prep, out of prep, and this is mostly like right away. Once you kind of, you know, get into off season more and more, the freedom can come and you can be a little bit more flexible and relaxed, but right out the gate, you need to have a plan and you need to stick to it. It's so important to stick to the plan that you're given or that you create for yourself, because honestly, it's just going to bite you in the ass if you don't, and it's not worth the enjoyment of eating like an ass for 3 weeks straight and then literally feeling horrible about yourself for months afterwards. So have a plan and stick to it. It's so worth it to just slowly come out of the phase and not just fucking go balls to the wall in the opposite direction. So next would be, this plan is going to take a while, okay? You need to stick to it for a while, and what you need is extreme patience, because it can be super hard. You're going to put on weight immediately. I'm speaking from experience. Some people don't, which I don't understand, but if you put your body through a dieting phase, it is going to immediately want to get out of it. So the minute you start adding in food, your body is going to just like take everything it can and kind of just store the fat that it can to get to a more comfortable place. So for me, I was literally putting on 2 pounds a week for like 2 months straight. No matter what me and my coach did, we left macros the exact same for 2 months plus. And I was literally gaining weight every single week, no matter what. And that was just because my body wanted to. It wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. It wanted to get back to a comfortable place. And you need to respect that, and you need to not like freak out about it, because it's completely normal. Like, think about what you just did to your body, especially if you were in prep. You just did some rough shit to your body, and it needs time to get back to feeling comfortable, and I guess like trusting you almost, and just like knowing that you're not going to starve it and you're not going to put it through like that phase for a while. So you have a very skewed view coming out of prep with your physique, and honestly, I don't even like being stage lean. I don't think I look my best like that. I just don't like being that lean. I just don't like the way that I look that lean. But even so, you're gonna have a skewed view. You're gonna go into it saying, I know I need to put on body fat, and I know it's going to happen, and I'm ready for it, I'm okay with it, and then it happens, and it's just like, you're not okay with it. But it's part of life. It's part of the freaking journey, especially in bodybuilding. That is part of the cycle. You get super lean, and then you must come back from that, and that is normal. Stage lean is not normal, and you can't look at you putting on healthy weight as a bad thing. Your body is so uncomfortable in a dieting phase that like, it needs to get back to its comfortable state, and the state where it'll respond better and actually like love you back, I guess, because I feel like your body's pissed at you after this. Like, you know, you put it through a lot and it wasn't comfortable for a very long time, and like your body's kind of like, okay, now screw you. I'm going to do what I need to do to get back to my comfortable level. So, I mean, you have to be patient. You will feel uncomfortable, and it will be very hard, because you do have a very skewed vision of what normal looks like, but please just remember that you're so skewed, and you're so hard on yourself, and you're so harsh about it, when like in reality, I like to look at it like this. Say you're dieting from 130 to 115. Okay, so you hit the 122 mark from 130, and you're like, hell yeah, I look sick, I love it, blah blah blah. Now you're at 115 for stage, and you come back up to 122 and you hate how you look. Think about, you're the same 122. Like, you thought you looked amazing at 122 because you were coming from the other way. Now you're at 122 again and you think you look horrible. So like, I like to think of it as the weather. So this is like so weird, but my analogy is, so coming out of summer and going into fall, it's, you know, 60 degrees. And you're like, oh my God, yes, I get to wear my jacket, I get to wear my jeans, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's getting colder, love it, 60 degrees. Now, going from winter to spring, when it hits 60 degrees, you're like, yes, bitch, it's so warm. I'm gonna wear my tank top. I'm gonna wear my shorts. It's the same 60 degrees. It just depends on where you're coming from. So like, that's how I feel about weight, because it was the same thing. Like, I remembered being at a certain weight and feeling so incredible when it was going down that way. And then reversing out, when I hit that weight, I was like, oh my God, like this, I look, you know, horrible. You just have such a skewed view, and like, I really need you to be like patient and kind to yourself, because you just need to give your body the time it needs, and you can't control how much time it's gonna need. My body needed like 8 months. So I just had to ride it out and follow the plan and just stay patient, stay consistent. And like, I finally reached this level of comfort and I feel good in my own skin. Of course, I still have bad body image days, but like, I feel okay with where I'm at. I feel good, you know? So like, it takes a while. Like I said, I'm 10 months post-show, and I'm not even exaggerating, probably up until like the 7-8 month mark, like I didn't feel great, and there was nothing I could really do about it. I was doing everything I was supposed to do, but my body just needed that time. That was the amount it needed, and I needed to give it that time. Kind of going into my next thing is like, how do you deal with it? Honestly, like, there's nothing you can do about it besides like the mental shift tips that I'm trying to give you. Like, you have to just deal with it. The only way to get through like that uncomfortable stage is literally going through it. Like, you have to just ride it out. If you jump back into a cutting phase because you feel uncomfortable, it's going to make it 10 times worse. Don't do the mini cut thing, because I tried and my body moved like 1 pound in like 5 weeks. And I was like, we cut my calories a decent amount, we added cardio. My body was like, fuck that, I am not moving. I don't want to do it and I'm not ready. So if you try to force yourself into another cutting phase just to make you feel better about yourself, it's honestly just going to set you up for a 10 times harder attempt the next time you try to do the same thing. You have to just let your body ride it out. That uncomfortable phase, it's inevitable, and it is all a lot of just mental, but also like, I was very inflamed. I feel like I just had a puffier look. Like, I'll put December 2018 and then now, and this is like the same weight, but I'm eating a lot more now. But like, my body, it just wasn't reacting the best. It wasn't happy. It wasn't comfortable. So I had to go through that uncomfortable phase. And although it is mental, it will be physical too. You will feel puffy, you'll feel inflamed, but like, you have to just go through it. Everyone does it. Everyone has to do it. And if you want to set yourself up to diet again in a very nice and not miserable as hell way, that's just what you have to do. And you just have to remember, like, that's part of it. That's just like, this is the cycle, and unfortunately, like, there's nothing you can do about it at sometimes, but just stick to your plan and just be consistent and just be patient. Like, it'll pass. I promise it'll pass, because there were times where I was like, damn, I am literally tracking my macros every day. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and my body just freaking hates me. It doesn't want to respond. And I'm telling you, I am now to the point where like, even if I don't track all day and I'll go out and I'll eat, like the other night, Anthony and I went to the concert and we got home super late. We stopped at Taco Bell. I got, you know, some Taco Bell. I woke up fine the next day. Like, my body now responds okay. Granted, I'm eating a lot of food, so like the calories are probably fine, but it just like, it takes time to get to a comfortable spot in off season, and you need to give yourself that time. Honestly, one day it just all clicks. All of a sudden you're like, wait, I actually feel really good. Like, your body comp is changing, you're a little bit leaner, tighter, but your weight's the same, and you're just responding better. So one day it just clicks. And you know, you never know how long your body needs. It could be 2 months, it could be 10 months, but like, you just need to give yourself that time and be kind to yourself during that time. Because if you try to avoid it, or you try to just like move it aside and just jump back into dieting phase, you're setting yourself up for a way harder time when you are then forced to take the off season, because your body is literally never going to respond to a cut. So anyways, that's kind of that. You just have to go through it. The only way out is through. Next, focus on other things. So shift your focus from strictly on how you look and how your physique looks, to more of a strength thing. I liked to kind of focus on gaining my strength back and being able to lift heavier and harder, and just having more food to fuel that lift. And then also even things like being able to have more balance in life, going out, you can, you know, have a lot more flexibility with your macros. You can go to family parties and, you know, have some food instead of having to bring a Tupperware of food. You can be a social and normal individual again, and that is so amazing, honestly. I feel like we kind of forget how amazing it can be, and the time to enjoy that is off season. So why are you gonna spend that time just like dwelling on how you look instead of enjoying how you could feel and the strength that you can have, and just obviously feeling overall better because you have more energy, more fuel, all of that. So I just feel like my biggest tip is like shifting your focus. Like stop worrying about your abs, stop checking your abs every time you walk past a mirror. Like just get over that. You're gonna lose them and you gotta get over it. Shift your focus to, oh my gosh, now so-and-so's birthday is next week and I can actually go and I can enjoy myself, maybe have a drink, all of that. Oh my gosh, now I can focus on a new strength goal. I can set new PRs and really work towards that instead of just working towards getting chiseled abs. Like you just have to shift your focus from looks to kind of more of a feel and like strength based thing. And then another thing is, one of my biggest things that like I don't really understand, a lot of people just kind of like want to skip this step, but I'm like, here's the thing. If you want to get better, and this is kind of speaking towards competitors, but anyone else, honestly, if you want to make changes in your physique, you want to build muscle, want to change your shape, because to do that you need to put on muscle in certain areas, you have to eat in a surplus. You have to grow and go through that growing phase, or else you're gonna step on stage every single year with the same exact physique, and like, who wants to do that? Like, you have to keep in mind that like the only way to change is to go through these uncomfortable growing seasons of life. And honestly, that's that. So if you want to stay the same and you want to show up the same every year with the same physique, and you know, judges are still going to tell you you need more upper body definition, but you won't take the time to eat and grow and be uncomfortable with how you look for a little while, you're never going to progress in the sport, and you're never gonna make changes in your physique. You're just gonna stay the same and be unhappy because you can't put on muscle, but you're not allowing yourself to. So that's another big thing. If you wanna make changes, you have to just go through this. I feel like I've made major changes in my glutes, which is that was my biggest goal of off season, was to grow my glutes. And honestly, I feel like they're like the biggest they've ever been. And they don't, like, I feel like I've put on muscle too. Like I can tell it's muscle, and like, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't pushing food and trying to grow, and I went through that uncomfortable part of off season. But now I'm on the other side and I feel good, and I feel really at peace with where I'm at, and I feel so happy and overall just like balanced, and I feel like I just have so much freedom because I now have a surplus of calories that, like, say Anthony texts me and is like, hey, you want Chipotle? Like, I don't have to think twice. I know I can have Chipotle. I know it works fine. Hey, you want to go out for a drink? Like, I know I can fit 30 carbs in for a drink, you know? It's not, like, I just love having that freedom, and especially just being in a new city, being able to go out and do things like that, it's just really amazing, and I've just been really loving it. So it was so freaking hard at first. It sucked so bad at first. But honestly, it gets better, and you just need to be patient and just give yourself the time that you need. And again, it's gonna be unknown. You don't know how much time you'll need, but one day it'll click, and just be patient and kind. Because honestly, negative self-talk and just hating yourself and all of that is not going to make your body respond any quicker. You stressing out about how you look is probably going to make it 10 times worse. So just be patient, be kind, and just know that with time, the uncomfortable part will pass. Like, I promise. It feels like you'll never get through it, but I promise you will. And you will come out on the other side and be like, damn, I feel okay. Like, I finally feel okay. It happened. So anyways, just keep those things in mind, guys. Off season is not as bad as we all make it out to be, and I know it can be hard, and I know sometimes it feels impossible, but just know it's not impossible. You will get through it, and just keep your focus there. Keep your focus as hard as it is in prep, in your off season, and the progress and the strength and the changes will happen. So anyways, hopefully you guys find that helpful. Please comment down below if you have any other questions or anything like that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.